Welcome to No Smoke TV. Today we have a special guest all the way from the UK, Jess Young.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for stopping by. How you doing today? How you feeling today?
Yeah, I feel good. Today was a good day. Did some training, got out in the sun. It's starting to get warmer. So yeah, what about you?
I went downtown to Columbus Park to show support for the Asian community. So they had like a little rally over there. Yeah. So I went to show some support. Then I came back to talk to you.
Thank you. What time is it over there as well, by the way?
Right now it is 5:57. What time is it over there?
So yeah, 9:57. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're not too far apart.
No, I said 5:57.
Oh yeah. No, here it's 9:57.
Oh, 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hour difference. Bedtime.
That's all right. Yeah. It's wow. I'm good now.
So, how was it like growing up in Ireland?
Oh my gosh. Ireland was insane. Like, do you know what's so funny? Like when I first moved over to London, I couldn't get used to the fact that people, first of all, that there were so many people in one city. I remember being like, oh, how many people, millions of people are there in London? They were like, I don't know, however many, like 12 or whatever. I can't even remember if it's like 18 at this point. And I was like, no, there can't possibly be. They must be in the UK. Like Ireland is a small place. Everybody knows each other. I grew up in the countryside. Went to the local like Catholic school.
I went to Catholic school too.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, I did.
It's like Catholic is such a different world. That's a whole other ball game, isn't it? But yeah, and what I loved about growing up in Ireland, I guess specifically, is just the music. It's so musical. I just felt like I was constantly surrounded by, constantly surrounded by all these really amazing sounds and artists and great writers and stuff. So it was a very different experience to what I know people grew up in the UK experiencing, for sure.
Is that what influenced your sound?
I think, yeah, to a massive degree it did. I mean, we had a vinyl player and I used to stick on the Eagles' Hell Freezes Over and play it on repeat. And other than that, it was like really poor, like radio, like not terrible radio. I mean, the Irish radio is amazing, but the signal is a bit dodgy out in the countryside. So access wasn't really amazing. And so I definitely think that, you know, I had all of these sort of Americana and American rock and American soul and blues kind of influences. And I didn't get that whole eclectic British thing that everybody had over here, which was, the Sex Pistols and the Rolling Stones. Like I had no idea who they were until I moved over here. So yeah, it definitely did. And I think, there's so many incredible Irish bands that I looked up to, like the, U2 and the Corrs and Thin Lizzy, who were just amazing. So yeah, for sure.
Cool. Do you have any collabs that you would love to do?
Oh my God, definitely. First of all, I am obsessed with Dermot Kennedy. Obsessed. Really? I want to work with him. But I think if I could work with some of my heroes, it would probably be like Don Henley or Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls or someone like that. But, again, like I listen to people like her and Tiana Major 9 for like just extraordinary people who, I could just make lists. But yeah.
Do you ever want to like mix your sound, like try with a different genre of music?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think my sound is, for sure, it's been evolving a lot, where I used to write a lot of really, really depressing, sad ballads. Now I've had the recent ability to write stuff that's a little bit more up-tempo, a little bit more hopeful. I definitely, for sure, like I've always wanted to like sing verses with someone who rapped, and like I love hearing trap beats underneath. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, I love that. I think it's just I think the beautiful thing about where we're at in music and the access that we have to creating from home and collaborating across countries, and also just the access people have to so many different sounds, is that they're open-minded enough to really listen to anything as long as it's great, or as long as it's good, or it's catchy. And so as creators, you know, we can step outside of what originally maybe we might not have done. So yeah, for sure. I mean, I think definitely if I thought I was cool enough to branch out like big time, for sure I would.
You'll get there. You're gonna get there with your sound. You have a distinct sound. It's like different and it's real good. So
thank you.
I can see you. I see that Tom Allom, platinum producer, produced your record, your third single, Hold It On and Let It Go, which I like.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's a classic example of a really depressing Jess Young song. So there we go. Thanks for loving it. Yeah, he did. Tom and Nigel, his friend, who mixes sound he's won Emmys, is an award-winning sound engineer for Killing Eve and Downton Abbey and loads of incredible TV shows. They're both kind of really good mates, and somebody sent them my music, my demos, which, oh man, I don't know how they saw through those. Like, anyway, they really liked it, and they messaged me and they just said, listen, we'd really love to meet you and talk about what it is that you'd like to do with your life and your career. And then, you know, Tom was kind of interested in mucking about with some of my tracks, and Holding On and Letting Go just became a Tom Allom original. I mean, and what's funny is that a lot of people have commented like, that doesn't sound like Black Sabbath or Judas Priest. And I'm like, no, but he's Tom Allom. He has such incredible ears still. He still has amazing skills, and what he did with that song totally blew me away.
Magical. Sure. You did magic with that song.
Yeah, he was really great with that. So yeah, very emotional song, but yeah, no, he was amazing.
Everybody that like been through a relationship and had to break up, but they didn't want to break up, could feel that song.
That's what I was told when I released it. Like, I could relate. And I was like, okay, this is good. We started off well. Yeah, I mean, it's a big song about, kind of accepting the loss of someone that you really don't want to have to accept, that you're going to have to walk away from. And actually that track is basically that whole song is a comp of 2 full takes, and it was actually, I think, the first 2 takes that I did of 5 or 6 full, like, non-stop takes, just before I flew back home from Boston, where I'd been writing some music with a friend of mine who's a mix engineer out there. He's a really lovely guy called Kenny Lewis. I love him to pieces. Shout out Kenny. Yeah, Kenny. Yeah, okay. He's great. Kenny Lewis. He's in Boston, and I basically just cried through the whole 2 takes, and we've managed to vocal produce it so you can't hear too many of the tears. but when we comped it together, and I was really unsure, and I was like, Kenny, I sound like a little bit wobbly, and he was like, no, because it's so emotional. And so it was basically just those two full takes. So yeah.
Was there a relationship that sparked that song? Was like this something in your life that sparked it?
Yeah, there was.
There's a lot of emotions in that song.
There was. I keep killing my plants. Sorry.
Are you a plant mom? Because you keep on touching it.
Okay, no, but so I'm not like a plant mom, because I mean, I'd like to be. I'm an aspiring plant mom in that I have quite a lot like around my house. I see. So I have a few. I've got some ivy that like hangs out over my bed and stuff. But I feel like I think I'm just lucky with these guys that they're kind of like chilling. So maybe they're cool with, you know. So I got something right.
You keep on saying sorry when you touch it.
I know. I don't want him to like die on me, and then, you know. Anyway, sorry.
but let's get back to it. Was there a relationship that sparked that song? Because there's a lot of emotions in that song.
Yeah, there was one significant relationship that sparked the emotions in that song, and it was somebody that had been with me pretty much for my whole life, and the me walking away from that person and realizing that it was no longer in my best interest to kind of hold on to that connection anymore was basically what made me decide to go into songwriting in the first place. So basically the moment I realized I was miserable and had to like face the fact that things had been difficult, was the moment I was like, if I'm really going to be this sad, I want to do it doing something that I love, which was music. And so I just like quit my job, went to study songwriting, and that was it. And that was like 4-ish years ago.
Wow. So that breakup sparked Jess Young.
It did. It made me. It didn't.
It made you.
But yeah. But I think you can definitely apply it. Like I could apply it to a couple different scenarios, but that for sure there was one big life switch. And for me, that song was like a moment where I felt like I was finally like making peace with that. So yeah.
Cool. They always say like a bad situation in life, like a struggle, makes you like, it takes you to where you need to be. Like it makes you stronger. It makes you like, it just makes you the person that God was always trying to make you be, you know? So
I believe that. I believe that it either makes you or it breaks you. And even if it breaks you down, it's just doing that just to make you
stronger
in a different way. Exactly, for sure. So yeah, it definitely made me who I am today. So I don't regret, you know, any of it. It still makes me sad to this day, and I still write songs about that whole thing, but you just have to go. The past is the past, and you have to move on, right? I mean, that's the whole point. Right?
Trust me, I know how you feel.
Yeah, right.
Let's talk about that song you had on Prime TV in the UK.
So it's actually a song that hasn't been released yet, and it's called Wasted. Again, Tom and Nige were super interested in it, and I think I still want Tom to produce it. I think he'd do a really good job, but anyway, we'll see. But yeah, it got put into a TV series called Cold Feet, which was super successful over here like 10 years ago. And then they had a reboot, and in the reboot, they put it in there. And I got this call, and it was like, "Do you know that your song is in Cold Feet?" And I was like, "No." So that was kind of that. And now I kind of am like, okay, I have to do something with that track.
Nah, that's cute. That's cool.
So yeah, and again, it's another song that I wrote about a difficult situation. So every time I like go to like work on it, I'm always like,
Well, that's gonna spin off to my next question. Any new music on the way? Like any new projects? I know you are, because you always saying you in the studio.
Yeah, I am. So I have been working on some music with two different producers who I adore. One called Dustin Dooley, who's so talented, and he was recommended to me by Nige. Actually, I was like, look, I just really want to work with a writer producer who kind of understands this type of sonics, and Nige just goes, I know the guy. And straight away we were like in there. So I'm actually going tomorrow to work with him and an artist songwriter who he also produces called Tyke Daily, who's really interesting. I recommend you guys like pay attention to where he goes. And then there's another producer called Jungle Boy, who I absolutely adore, who did a track with Rehab, the Zayn Flames, Up in Flames or Flames. It was a really interesting track, and so we've worked on a single already, and at some point in the next few days, we should have some dates to jump on in and work on a few more things. So yeah, it's I'm really happy. I'm thrilled, and the songwriting has definitely evolved, and I'm happy about the creative process. And yeah, it's interesting to hear. Like, I never thought that I would listen to the music that I've made and then kind of be like, I don't remember her as much as I feel her, but like where I'm at now is different, and the music is coming out differently now. So I'm very excited about that, which is great.
You're growing with your music.
Yeah, which I was going to say, which I've never experienced before, because of course you don't until you experience it. So yeah.
And it's real cool that you write your own music too, because that's gonna stick out and work out for you in the long run when you finally.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. I've had the benefit, the joy, the pleasure, the honor to be able to co-write with some extraordinary talent. My friend, he's called Siva, Seeva, has written a lot of tracks with me, and we, you know, during some of my hardest times, actually directly after that really difficult holding on and letting go scenario, you know, I would go and spend time in his home studio south of London and just let it all out. And I still have songs to this day now, you know, 3 or 4 years later, which I can't wait to produce and to have, you know, developed. We might, you know, maybe we need to like to kind of like how do I say it? We might want to like change up some of the writing a little bit just to keep it a bit more relevant to where I'm at now. But I mean, he's such a talented songwriter, and I really feel like without having been able to flex my muscles as a songwriter with him, without having been able to, I exec produced his album, his first album, which I was so happy to have been able to do. And it was a very humbling experience. And without him and without our friendship and our connection, you know, the music that I've made to this point, it really wouldn't have been possible, like at all. And so I think I'm only really as good as the people who have really enabled me to get here, and who have helped me and taken a chance and taken a shot, or said like, yeah, like let's work. And, you know, having faith in other people and trusting them with my feelings, I guess, as it were, has been like such a huge thing. And he was the first person where I was like, I trust you, and let's go. So, you know, I really feel that, you know, like that's why I'm here today is
really
those people. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
a lot of support.
Yeah, a lot of support from surprising places and surprising people that you wouldn't expect at all to just be like, I got your back. And lack of support from places that you're like, I have no idea why you're not supportive at all. But that's, you know, that's cool. It just makes you stronger, right?
That's God working. You're receiving your blessings as you should.
Yeah.
So you know, music goes hand in hand with like acting, because it's like arts. Do you see yourself like dibbling in the acting world?
So I actually used to be a stage actress in school. I loved it. I used to win. I used to win all the like competitions and the awards in school. Really? And secondary school as well, for acting. And there was a couple times where I went in as a junior of the school, but into senior plays. And I adored it. Like, for me, there were two ways of communicating when I was a kid, and it was either being stupid and funny, or it was playing somebody a song that had lyrics that helped me to express how I was feeling, because I don't think I knew any other way of understanding myself or other people understanding me. At least that's how I felt. So yeah, I mean, I have definitely thought about it. Like, I thought about it again, and I was like, oh yeah, but like, if you're gonna act, like, you know, you have to like really be in it and stuff. But I don't know. Who knows? You got
to look. You got to look for it.
I mean, I'm open to it. Hey, look, if someone turned around to me tomorrow and was like, would you come and do this on a movie and la la la, and you know, I helped some friends on some extra parts on TV, cool. on some films, on their film sets and stuff. But so if somebody came along one day and was like, I feel like you should do this, and, you know, would you consider it, then I would never say no. But I know that my main focus right now is music, just probably because I suppose when I think about it, I'm like, I don't even, how do you do both at once? Do you do one and then find the other later? Like,
do you see yourself coming to the States anytime soon?
I do. I do. I'm so excited. So for me, the US has always been really close to my heart. My aunt is American. Oh, really? So my cousins are Irish American, and I grew up like down the road from them. And we all went to school together, and I just always was obsessed with just everything American. They would bring Halloween candy back from the States. They would have all the Hershey's bars, the Reese's peanut butter, and I just became obsessed. And I'd never been to America until I went to my sister's wedding in Charleston, and then I went to Boston to go write some music with my friend Kenny. And I'm so in love with so much of how the United States is, and just the different cultures, the music, everything. I know there's some big issues going on right now, and that all needs to be fixed big time. But yeah, so I'm hoping, not just for work, but also to visit, that I can come over. And for me, the greatest like joy in life would be touring the States. Even if it was like the tiniest tour or the tiniest support, I would be there like yesterday.
Oh, cool. Now it's nice over here. I've never been to the UK. I would love to go out there and see how it is.
You have to come visit. Come visit. If you come, I will show you my favorite restaurant. It's so London's awesome, and you would love it.
I'm gonna hold you to that. Right, is there anything you would like to let out? Let the people know before we end this up?
Oh, I don't know. What do people normally let out when they're like talking about
your social media? Anything you have coming up? Anything that you want the people to know about you? Anything that we missed?
Well, my social media is Jess Young Music, so at Jess Young Music, and you can find me on all platforms under Jess Young. There might be a couple others, but I'm a girl in pink with the sultry stare and the moody music, so just look for me. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, I just think, I'm super grateful that you're having me on here. And no, honestly, it's such a pleasure. Like, it's a real joy when people reach out and they're like, I would love to have a chat with you. And you just go like, it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. So I'm so grateful for you having me on here. I don't know if there's anything else that other people need to know about me other than, I'm grateful for anyone who comes along and listens and support. And I can't wait for us all to be on tour. And yeah.
That song, Holding On and Letting Go, is why attracted me to you. I was like, wow. What? So then when I heard that, I'm gonna play that at the end of the interview too, so people can see it. But I heard that, I was like, wow, she's so talented. Definitely be something. So I definitely had to have a conversation with you.
That's crazy. Oh my God. Are you playing the music video out of curiosity?
Yes.
So this is something for people to know then. The music video was shot and directed by Luke Halls, who is a friend of mine and is so talented. He did, I think he does a lot of the visuals, like for live. He also does like the V&A, and he's done like the Pet Shop Boys, the XX. He's been working with Sam Smith recently. I think he did Beyonce's Formation tour at one point. Wow. He's so talented. And yeah, it was really hard shooting that in one take, because he was like, you have to like be speaking to the person this is about. And I was like, no, I don't want to cry. So that music video, I think that was actually the final take, where all of a sudden it just came together, and he put the projector of my lyrics across my face, and that was it. And it came together really, really well. But he's uber talented, and I'm so grateful that he worked with me on that. So that's a little something about the music video.
It was a great video and a great song, so y'all gonna love it.
Thank you so much.
Well, it was a pleasure talking to you, Plant Mom. I'm gonna say your Plant Mom because you kept on saying sorry. So I'm gonna call you a Plant Mom.
Oh, I don't think they agree though.
You don't got no pets running around there? No dog, no cat, no nothing?
No dogs, no cats, no babies, no nothing. It's just me and the plants. I'm going crazy in here, seriously.
You need to get you a dog.
You can FedEx me one, yeah? Thank you so much for having me. It's been beautiful.
No problem. It was a pleasure talking to you. And until next time, we're going to recap it when you make it. So I'm going to call you again when we make it and be like, can we set that up?
I'll see you at the show.
All right. Thank you for stopping by.
Give us all we needed. I can't cry no more tears, and being close to you leaves me breathless. And I know your God would have liked you to say you're sorry, and I trust him to keep you safe and feeling happy. Maybe I can forgive you, and I'll never forget you. All I know, even though I forsake you, I'm holding on while I'm letting go. Took it away, we were left in darkness. I'd rather break than see you again, 'cause being loved by you makes me reckless. And even though you brought my whole world to its knees, and even though I can't trust a soul not to wreck me, all I know is maybe I can forgive you, and I'll never forget you. All I know, even though I forsake you, holding on while I'm letting go. You were my lighthouse in the dark, my final outpost, my heart. You'll never know how much I need you, but I had to find myself without you. All I know is maybe I can forgive you, and I'll never forget you. All I know, even though I forsake you, I'm holding on while I'm letting go. You are my final frontier. Holding on while I'm letting go. Holding on while I'm letting go. Holding on while I'm letting go.
smoke tea.